Hello and welcome to the Fliers. What are the chances that aviation history would celebrate the name Sidney Pickles not once but twice? That is not a common name. The first Sidney Pickles was born in Sydney, Australia in 1894. He went to England in early 1912 to learn to fly, and he successfully passed the test for his Royal Aero Club certificate number 263. In 1913, he passed more official tests and obtained Superior Certificate number 8. At the 1930 aviation meeting in Burton, Sidney Pickles won the prize for achieving the greatest altitude, 6,100 feet. Not remarkable today, but this is just 10 years since the Wright brothers demonstrated controlled flight. Sidney joined the Royal Naval Air Service at the outbreak of World War I in 1914 and took part in submarine patrols over the North Sea and raids over the continent. He also trained other pilots for the war effort. After 1 year, he resigned his commission and returned to civilian life as a test pilot for the British Admiralty. In 1919, he received Air Ministry Licence number 9. During his career, he was chief test pilot for Short Brothers, Blackburn Aeroplane Company and the Ferry Aviation Company. After the war, he returned to Australia, taking with him his own plane, a Jenny, with which he established many tests such as conducting air mail survey flights in 1920. In 1925, Sidney moved to Victoria, Canada and organised the Victoria Aero Club. He was the chief instructor until one of the members smashed the plane in an accident. This really finished Sidney's flying career, as he could not afford to purchase another plane. After this, he headed up a program through which appliances of various kinds were loaned without cost to handicapped persons. For this work, he was named Canadian Citizen of the Year. He passed away in Victoria, Canada in 1975, one of aviation's pioneers. The second Mr. Pickles was born in Monterey, America in 1909, so just 15 years later than our Australian Pickles. Pickles said he could not remember when he wasn't tinkering with engines and radio tubes. At age 12, with his parents away, he even erected a 60-foot tower in the backyard to improve his radio reception and transmission. At Stanford University, he earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in electrical engineering. Despite his collegiate success, like many others during the Great Depression, Pickles struggled to find a job. The year of 1933 was a great test of patience in looking for a job. I spent 2 years as a temporary repairman with IBM, Pickles said. A few months later, he joined the Mackay Radio and Telegraph Company, and in 1960, Pickles moved to Colusa, where he met Lee Otterson, owner of Colusa Industrial Properties. Otterson found a flat piece of ground southeast of Colusa where Pickles could develop his antenna systems. It was still highly guarded technology. He purchased his own plane and conducted most of the flight testing himself. Pickles was one of the key engineers working on specialised aviation engineering before World War II. Pickles was granted 40 patents, most connected to his tactical air navigation system and instrument landing work. He is credited with saving the lives of thousands of military and commercial pilots and their passengers. Pickles continued his work after the war when he came up with a highly accurate antenna system for US Navy carriers, expanding on his knowledge of the omnidirectional and unidirectional localizer systems he developed during the war. In 1992, the year after Pickles had retired, President Bill Clinton recognized him in a letter for his 50 years of service to the country and aviation in general. Sidney Pickles is uniquely responsible for the creation of navigation and landing systems for aviation that have not only saved thousands of lives by making flying safer, but also has improved the quality of life for all of us by helping us get to our destinations not only safer, but much faster and on time. William Watt, a close friend to Pickles, wrote as part of the 50-year recognition, "Air travel today will be forever in Sydney's debt." Watt was the captain of the first fully automatic flight that left Mill Field in San Francisco on June 3, 1949 and landed in New York on June 4. He said, "I didn't touch the controls until the aircraft was on the ground at each of those airports." This was the first coast-to-coast, no-hands flight in history, and he created it. Pickles led a team that developed the Tactical Air Navigation System for the US Air Force. TACAN is used at virtually every airfield now around the world. His system also is used by US space shuttles to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. I actually worked for another man, Andrew Alfred of IT2, who was really the father of the principles. I took his principles and developed the system, Pickles said modestly. No one person does it all. Many people have worked on it, at least 400. Thank you for watching. Liking and subscribing will promote new content.